Actually, here's
No
a
one
question
had
for
magic
Alexander.
weapons, no one had magic armor.
Here's a question for Alexander. Would you have stopped Delvit's armament training to have him observe?
I was gonna put something in chat earlier, but I don't. Oh, actually, have him observe. Yeah, actually,
Something to learn.
if it's especially a bloody affair, he would definitely
It's
put
very
a
bloody affair.
stopper in his marksman training.
Hold on, I gotta see Oriana get her ass beat.
It is a very bloody affair.
More so. Okay, Delva needs to see Oriana get her ass beat.
There's also
all
an
the
important lesson about walking away from just barely.
win's a win. That being said, Sajara, roll me your insight. Very good. Very good. 24. As you're watching this apparently sordid, bloody affair, not sordid, that's the wrong word. It is a sorted one, though. You're observing Zol. And every time either of them hit each other, more predominantly with Vaso, but even with Oriana, there is a bit of a cringe. A twinge. His eyes furrow.
In the way that he bothered, that is triggering something for him.
You are
Both?
very quiet.
You're very quiet. Also, in fairness, he has the joystick in.
Hmm.
Both.
Both. Okay. Does he seem disturbed by them being hurt or them hurting each other, or does it seem like he's?
You guys have
something
sparred
personal?
before. He's never had this reaction.
Never.
I mean, he might comment if one of you gets a particularly capable strike and then sort of jeer at whoever got hit, but that's about it.
Yeah, whoever got the nat 20s in the game.
Yeah, it's just oh, you got hit!
Ha!
But nothing like this.
Yeah, no, I'm realizing that Sajara will sort of saunter on over, stand next to him.
Yeah, so this is after the fight's wrapped up. Oriana and Vaso are getting their medical attention. And, you saunter on up to him. And him being in his blinchy state notices you because you're not sneaking. He looks at you and says, "Yeesh, that was pretty close."
Yes. Brutal, too, honestly.
I like that shield throw. Saw Oriana trying to wrangle Vaso a number of times. That weapon, glad one of them stuck.
Very. A lot of punching, too. Armor comes in handy.
Yeah. Well, he gestures at himself. I don't need a bit.
Neither do I. But
Yeesh.
you look
Ah, no,
this-
not this again.
No, you usually don't squint like that when we spar or fight.
Was it
this
squinting?
bother you? Yeah, when I mimic his facial expression. You did this when they were hurting each other.
Rover persuasion. You got advantage for doing the facial expression.
You're like,
Possibly
ew.
so.
You get a 20, you just becomes all for.
Hmm.
Do I need to whip out my guidance here?
The guy, the magic guy. Yeah, maybe.
Do
Just
it, do it, do it!
a little bit.
Same roll. or,
Night.
Night.
Oh, I didn't get a chance.
Alright, if I don't leave now,
I'll
this is
do.
forever.
Or just one time.
It says re-roll the roll, so I'd say with advantage. Well, it says re-roll the d20, but...
Oh, well.
I mean,
14.
You
Town
got
is better.
a point better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The
I-
dice said, no, you will suck.
is pain.
I mean, 15's not bad.
No, it's not. Also, I find it funny that you got another nat 1 on the guidance. It's actually pretty
Yeah,
convenient.
meant to be.
Yeah. He like looks as you like mimic his previous facial expressions, and like he rubs his chin, just sort of like mutters to himself, "Was that? Wow, yeah, or intentional? If that's what you're wondering." I don't know. Seemed fine, fine. Just I don't know.
I look at him. Does he seem flustered at a loss of words, or?
Make me another insight check. It's hard, you know. It's hard.
It's hard out here in the streets.
It's hard out here. Oh shit! Gotta get that button on.
You
Always
rolled
get
a
that button
two.
on stab. You can't pause. There you go.
There's one possibility, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, so 5%.
Well,
He's
technically-
at a loss of polite words to say.
Oh, you don't need to mind your manners around me. Is all.
He like looks off and away, looks around like someone that's about to tell a racist joke. Notes that neither Oriana nor Vaso are present or within easy earshot. Or anyone, really. It was sloppy. I probably could have done better.
Yeah, you're a very physical person. Physical fight. See that? You fought a lot before River Company.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, watching them this time was like, I don't know. I thought one of them would be world better than the other.
They are a sort of what's the word? An uneven match.
And yet the result was pretty even.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you look at the skill set both of them possess, the way Oriana fight, Vaso's defense perfectly tailored.
I get you. Okay. Well,
Put someone like Oriana on a spellcaster and they're going to have a nightmare maintaining a focus. All those punches coming left, right, and down. But versus someone like Vas, it's going to be tough. See your point.
no, it's that. Right. That makes sense.
Sturdy fella like you. If I, for example, threw an arcane barrage at you, it would do a lot more than if I hit you with this.
Oh no, I think he stops for a moment. That'll be fine. Probably.
Look back to Vas.
You see him, he's like getting medically healed by America, which is say punch, but in a good way. In a magical healing key way. She realigns his chakras or whatever, I don't know.
So if you were either better.
I think so.
I mean to ask, what would change different?
You're cutting out a little bit, Fred, just so you know.
Further away from the microphone. Is this better?
Yes, way better.
No, I'm asking if you were in their shoes, what would you do different?
I mean, I don't know if I'd do anything different, but I think I would have done it better.
Simply by virtue of you being more. More?
I guess. I guess.
Alright.
It's hard to describe.
What drives you in a combat? When it's just you and bloody murder in front of you. What
You
goes
let him
through
murder
your
right back.
Good.
Just sort of let. I don't know. I don't really do much thinking in the fight. I just sort of go at it.
Right. What about outside of? Do you think a lot?
Think a lot of fighting or just thinking?
You tell me.
Scratches his, beard a bit. I think, contrary to what y'all might think about a lot of stuff. There is like this itch, I guess you call it a nagging sort of thing in the back of my mind. Something for the next fight to crack open.
Yeah, I think I get that. Do you know what I think?
Hmm?
Do you know what I think about?
What do you think about?
Every day I think about what I could have done different, what I could have done to be more than I am right now. I think about how I can be better, be stronger,
Yeah,
strike
I think
faster,
about that too.
strike harder. And the reason I do that is because I'm sick and tired of feeling like I don't have any strength to protect the people.
He nods
That's
at
what goes
that.
through my
Oh yeah, same. Sort of it's like a sickness at times, thinking like that. Sort of plagues you constantly.
It does. The whole situation with Deet and her brother, apparently. How are you holding up?
Better days. Makes me real pissed. What it does. Try not to think on it too much.
Does that have anything to do with what the Lord Seeker asked
He stops.
during the interrogation?
I was really hoping y'all just sort of skip past that. Wouldn't be the first time. Shit. I ain't got nothing to say.
Okay. Look, so I'm not going to lecture you. You're a grown-up man. Do whatever you want.
So you should tell them that. He gestures at Vaso. The groups.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but I understand it. That impossible to scratch it in the back of your mind. I get it. But I don't think you'll find strength or clarity or sense of purpose, any insight, substance, whether you believe it or not.
It ain't about drugs, Zajar.
I know, that's why I'm saying that strength, that power you want, it's got nothing to do. So the way I see it, the drugs are not the problem. If anything, they've been what? Medication?
They're just
Things
gonna
to
get
end.
me to my whatever next animal I'm gonna see next.
What if there's a way to do that without it?
I ain't
Are
never
you
heard
even sure it
otherwise.
is the drugs?
It's like an experiment, right? Too many variables. Gotta keep things static and change up certain things. Right?
Let's go back to the first time it happened.
I got
Walk me
drugged
through
and
it.
ditched in the middle of a swamp.
What physical state were you in? Were you with beaten? Were you injured?
I had a pretty severe
Take
concussion.
disability?
But trust me, I've gotten plenty of concussions since then.
Have you been close to death?
He thinks. Think I have, yeah.
Do you feel like you've come further since last? Stronger?
I think I walked a lot of miles.
I think you have.
I don't think I've gotten much stronger.
And it happened in winter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So would it be reasonable to assume that Seeker somewhere might but sort of journey?
I think that's reasonable.
I think that's sitting on our head. Frustrating. Oh,
Plan to be frustrated, Balthazar.
well, for me it is. Not your drug problem. That's not sitting still. Figuring out what the next step Bredain is on. So something to occupy your mind with. Focus. Then look, I want to help you.
I understand that, but I just don't think you'll get it. Or else if
Maybe
you
not.
did, you probably wouldn't be making all these cases against me.
Maybe not. Well, would your sparring match make you feel any different?
He looks at Vaso and Oriana, who are like vacating the ring right now. Ring, quote unquote. He looks you up and down. He begins weighing the options. This look of frustration glides across his face. Nah. Nah, Spar won't do none.
Yes, I had. Well, you are as much of River Company as if there's something that you need, we need it. So I think if you don't want to do it, fair. But I think we should check in with see if the events we have any information. It turns out that do indeed whatever means you need.
Cutting out again.
Make that step, then so we.
You're cutting out bad.
How's this better?
Yes.
I think we should talk to the Seekers. Ask them if they have any information. See what the next step is. And if it turns out you need to take whatever means you need to make that, let's make it happen then.
I mean, I'm still trying to do my own method first. Paid a lot of gold for that. If you want to try to get insights on all that, what I know, you know. Can't write down a feeling.
No, you can't. That's
You want to ask and be my guest. I got nothing otherwise.
something similar once happened to me. I don't know if I told you.
Rather have. Don't know if I remember it though.
That's fair. No, I was lost in the desert, walking back to what I thought was home, when sandstorms swept over me, and suddenly I was somewhere else.
That sounds a lot nicer than a bunch of cutthroats dragging you through the muck.
Well, you have centaur scorpions and undead creatures and sandworms under your feet and no water. You're being burned alive by the sun. I mean, sure, no cutthroats, but the desert will kill you slowly, no matter what you do. I met a person whose face I do not remember. Someone clad in browns and blues. Have you heard of the Bedouin?
He just gives you a look like, does it fucking look like I've heard of him?
Ghost, some say. Spirit. Some there to guide you, to help. Others spill your blood.
I don't mean to be rude with this Ajar, but is there a point to you regaling me with all this again?
I suppose there's. So, I'm gonna say one last thing. If there is something on your mind that weighs on it, talk and eat.
I've had my words.
Well, give them another chance. You've more than earned that.
He looks out towards the rest of the group, his eyes lingering on Vaso. I wonder that at times.
So do I. Some people need to be told not once, not twice, but every time you see them. Every day. For the rest of their lives. It's just the way some people are.
Yeah. He just
That's all I.
sits down at a bench that's next to him. Just thinks for a moment. Any conversation with him further will be met with silence. He's stewing on something. So,
I will leave you to your thinking, but If you need any, or if you want any, tell me. I'll leave it.
I'd want a Scarlet Drip back.
So he nods. Sejar nods. Says, "Out of I'm afraid."
Yeah, Dee's got it. I don't think she's giving it back.
I don't think so either. I just sort of give his shoulder a little pat. Leave him to his.
Zal will contemplate matters of social relations, the progress of power, and the improvement of oneself being reliant upon thyself. So, what are the rest of you doing? Or I guess you guys could just sort of finish out your time in the training grounds. Well, you guys are here for a couple
Which is
hours.
what Alessandra will do.
You finish out your time in the training grounds. Delvit, apparently, as you are, I guess, testing Delvit,
Mhm.
he does have a pretty. He doesn't have a full grasp on it, but he has a pretty decent grasp for someone that's basically fresh to it on handling different styles of weapons. Remarking that, he's read books, training
Of course,
manuals.
He's well read on the topic, even if his body doesn't quite know how to operate it yet.
Yeah.
But does he seem to take to any particular weapon? Like a sniper or something?
He does take to marksmanship.
Okay. Which
And if you ask him about it, he just simply responds that, I don't know, I just sort of... I like the focus. The calm.
well, that's good. For a moment there, I was worried you would take to the mall, and I do not know how to use those.
I don't know if I have the muscle yet to use them all properly.
They're so top heavy, I wouldn't recommend it.
He shrugs. I think it'd be fun for a little bit, though, but maybe not to start out with.
Not at all. But, well, if you're taken to firearms, then that I can certainly oblige.
I think that'd be great.
You're like
Honestly-
your regular sharpshooter.
Honestly, anytime I saw those... He awkwardly rubs the back of his neck, like, growing up. I thought, that's at least something I could use. He, like, sheepishly grins at you. I tried it once, it didn't work out well.
He tried to.
He tried to shoot a gun once. It did not go well.
Alessandra will chuckle.
Shattered my
and-
wrist.
Oof. Yeah, starting out, no one's a natural at it. Even myself, I like to think I got a pretty good grasp on my revolver here, but first time I fired a revolver, flew right out of my hand, jumped right out. My instructor said that if it had been cocked when it hit the ground, I would have probably taken a bullet.
He, like, visibly, like, grimaces. Ugh. He looks at the guns that he's been, like, testing with, and he does, like, a quick equipment check to make sure, like, all rounds have been cleared.
Yeah, Alessandra will say, so I guess going down that line of thinking, rule number one of fire any gun is make sure you have a good grasp on it.
He nods as he's, like, coring, like, the last chamber of, like, these, like, it's, like, a different, like, training revolver, I guess you call it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Well, that and
Sits it down.
always treat a gun like it's loaded. Even
He
these
nods.
ones.
Yes,
But
sir.
regardless, I think we're all set for the day. return your equipment. Gesturing to the, not his kit, but the
Yeah,
training
like the
weapons
training
he's using.
weapons. He nods at that and like begins like grabbing them to the best of his capability because probably shouldn't grab like 7 guns at a time or whatever. Puts them back, but as he finishes putting them back, actually, I guess that's a question I have to ask you, sir. Your gun's always loaded, right?
That it is.
How? Artificer?
He nods. It's a neat little trick my mentor taught me. Perhaps when you're good and ready, we can see about doing something similar for you. Assuming we have the necessary materials on hand.
His eyes like open slightly as you bring up the potentiality. A glint. I think that'd be really cool.
He'd lean forward and say, just a word of warning, don't bring it up to Anushka. She might get cross at me playing favorites.
Take that to the heart. Just so you know.
He like mouth like it's like a like mouth motion. Roger that.
That said, I am playing favorites. There's a quick shush motion.
He smiles.
How
at
dare
that.
you? How dare you?
And yeah. You guys, I guess, reassemble during the training session? I
Sure.
guess?
I think, wait, not us three, but the whole party.
Whole party.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
guess back
cool.
to the Colonel Commons.
That's fine.
Mm.
So Anushka and Amber kind of come back now then, yeah?
Anushka, Amber, yeah, you would arrive back. Then Silas has already been there with Tertiana, who is in a peculiar state of inquisitiveness, or forlornness, I guess, way of putting it. You guys, training crew reassembles.
Okay. Would Anushka know that Delvit had a bit of, well, quote unquote, work done?
I think it got brought up before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
If not, then I'm saying it is, just so we can keep things simple.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Rickard did get... Oh, actually, I guess he already said it to... Well, I think he said last session, so it would have only been to Alessander and Oriana of like, yeah, Delvit will grow taller, he'll get more melanin in his skin, stuff like that.
He'll get yoked.
He's not, that's the thing, like, Delvit, like, is way more strong, but he probably had, like, a minus, like, 3 strength before.
So now he's back up to 10.
He's at 1. He's at +1 right now.
Let's go.
+1? Oh my!
I mean,
Which guy
Yeah,
has
so...
12?
Yeah, he has a 12, yeah. So, he's, like, double the attribute score, more or less, but that doesn't mean he's, like, an Adonis amongst men.
Well, I mean, he is.
I mean, he's not quite up to my level yet, so...
Okay, my bad, of course, my bad.
Sorry,
my bad.
Mrs. I'm on magical steroids. Not everyone can be 19 strength.
Imagine
Shut
being
up.
20.
I think that's been brought up now, right?
Yeah, it was brought up with the magical buzzing, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right, when your guys'
know.
magical equipment was getting jammed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I just, we're giving fucking Zol shit for doping. Investigate Anushka over here.
Anushka,
No.
the
That's
Olympic
what you-
Committee
Let's
has
be
begun
honest.
investigation. It's the Twinsian people that are doping.
That makes sense. They
Oh
need
my
to.
god, yeah.
They need to.
Yeah.
Have you seen what
Yeah, because they have too much malnourishment.
This is
Maybe see no
this
sunlight.
is not feel good.
Is Felgod steroid? Steroid.
It is
Great
love of
Felgod.
Felgod. Cell of love of Felgod.
Yes. Glory to Putin. Moving on.
Oh,
You guys
Christ.
reassemble. Amber and Anushka do turn up. And you guys basically have the whole party minus... I guess at this point, Kasai will be back too, yeah. Because it probably didn't take that long to get your last affairs in order and hang out with people. So yeah, I guess, yeah, you're all back. Avoid the rage. So, as you guys are reassembling in the bottom floor of the Colon Commons, Tertiana does chirp up to you, Silas. Look at that child. Your friends are back.
And Sass will look up from their book, probably for the first time since they started reading, and go, huh? Oh,
1.5 hours.
What is it like? Basically a magazine.
Yeah, but it's of like mystic incantation and stuff like that. So
Right,
it
right,
might
it's
be
dense.
like a
yeah.
A quick question.
small font.
No spacing.
What's up, Fred?
Can Sir Joe have stayed behind as we walked back to have a quick word with some of the speakers to see if anybody there even know about
Yeah,
this
roll me 1 to 100.
journey?
Please get a fucking 2. Oh!
Oops.
No, that didn't roll anything.
Close, but no.
To that
roll
apostrophe,
anything.
I fucked it. Oh, it's a 43.
43.
I had so much
You
hope.
got really excited for a second there.
Yeah, fat finger.
Pulling a different number of seekers on the topic, like
Yeah,
there are a wide array of different options it could be. Like a drug-induced spirit vision isn't uncommon or unheard of amidst Nevra societies. Seeing spirits out in the swamp might be outright a state of delirium induced by concussion and trauma and potentially toxic swamp gas. Like, there is a wide array of different things it could be, and to follow through, like, on the path. It's like, oh, you want to see another one? Alright, so go beat yourself on the head and go, like, inhale a bunch of toxic gas. Maybe you'll see another bear or whatever. Have fun. Or it might be some sort of curse or blessing from a fell god. Or it might just be tricksy spirits, Loa, and stuff like that. Like, there's very little they can do onto narrowing it with what little information you are able to provide.
Yeah. Do they have like? So how would I eliminate some of possible curse detection? That are those avenues that could be explored, or
It depends on what Zal is. If it's like a Navros thing, then that curse is just a matter of their genetics. So not much to be done on that. And it would be, depending on how the effects of it, impossible to fully discern without cracking into them.
and if the person want to pursue that path, would it be a situation of, if you don't know what the next likely thing forward is, to recreate the circumstance first iteration?
That could work.
Could work.
That could work. If it's a case of, like, again, physical trauma and like toxic fume, then recreating that is probably shortening your lifespan. But the thing is, if you're in that sort of state for a long period of time, you're probably dead. Right? And Zal was, like, lost for, according to him, like, days on days. So it's like, if he was breathing toxic gas that entire time, he probably wouldn't be alive.
Okay.
There is a case to be made in trying to commune, ask the gods for some sort of, I don't know, sign, omen, direction. But then it is a case of, like, which god you ask, because different gods will give actually different responses. Stuff like that. Would you tell them that it is, like, Scarlet Drip?
Yeah, because everything was said.
I mean, Zal said it, like, earlier just now, so.
And he told me what it. Yeah, I would bring it.
The more medically and alchemically inclined seekers that you ask would remark that Scarlet Drip is, well, first off, it's an illegal substance. That being said, it is effective. It is just addictive. And depending on the dosage, it can be permanently addictive. Your mind never, or like, I guess, yeah, your mind, because that's the sort of how addictions work. Fun fact, by the way, never recovers.
Yes. I would ask the people in the know if they have safer, in quotation mark, or alternatives to be tempted in order to effect.
There are, but technically that's really only for Seeker Slayer usage. Right? Like, before you guys went to the your operation, you saw Seekers and Slayers using chems to amplify their capability.
And to sort of introduce that hyper conscious, that elevated or state, not necessarily combat prowess, are those the same kind of MU?
The same kind that they use, no. Theirs is a bit more short term, non-addictive.